Morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of Kensington. Thank you as ever for your company today. And yes, behind me is still Kensington Palace. Now, a recent royal author claimed that Harry and Meghan were in fact bigger than the royal brand. If you look at the crowds here behind me, this is very early in the morning, and consequently the crowds are out in force. So it seems rather a deluded statement to claim that the British royals are on the decline and Harry and Meghan are on the up. But back as ever to your royal story of the day. Well, there's been a story that broke overnight recently about Harry and Meghan requesting to have a personal audience with Her Majesty the Queen, simply because finally someone gets to see their daughter Lily Diana, or Lilibet Diana, depending on which version you want to believe. Now let me sort of tell you the background to that particular story. The true story is that Harry and Meghan are very keen, of course, to secure an audience with our gracious Majesty the Queen. The story goes is the fact that they want to introduce their daughter finally, Lily Diana, to Her Majesty at Windsor, no doubt swiftly getting in a christening. Of course, a lot of people are saying, well, why would Her Majesty agree to that? Well, let me explain how protocol, particularly with Her Majesty, works. Her Majesty the Queen does receive members of her family, particularly those who may have irked her over the last few months, but that is normally a formal request. And again, a recent royal journalist claimed that Harry and Meghan and Her Majesty the Queen had this fabulous relationship. In fact, of course, he claims that Her Majesty the Queen really and Harry and Meghan still get on rather well. The only problem is that they don't necessarily agree with the Constitution. What's interesting here is the monarchy is the Constitution, which in turn is Her Majesty the Queen. So another ridiculous statement from someone simply trying to flog a dire book, but moving forward with the story. What's interesting here is, yes, they have put in a request, but so far that request has been ignored simply because Her Majesty the Queen is currently on holiday at Balmoral in Scotland, not due back till the early part of next month, and then at that point, of course, she will be back residing in Windsor Castle, not here in London at Buckingham Palace. That would make perfect sense, of course, for Harry and Meghan to try and sort of come back in and meet the Queen in one of her favourite homes, more relaxed, I guess. But moving forward, the story is that, they're hoping to get a christening organised. This simply won't happen at this stage. These things take months in planning, and whether, of course, Harry and Meghan want to make this a quick celebration simply so that they can have their daughter christened on English soil, well, you can't blame Prince Harry for that. But given the sort of traction that he's given out to his ex-family over the last few months, and what he's also got planned within the next few months, I find it very hard to believe that Her Majesty the Queen will find the time to put pen to paper to organise such a soiree, even when she's back at Windsor Castle. Neil Sean in the heart of Kensington.